Hello everyone, I'll be doing this quick video on what I did to improve the overall performance of thermals inside of the case of the OMEN 40L, as it has been overshadowed. I haven't really seen any videos on the OMEN 40L on YouTube, and yeah, I just wanted to share this knowledge with you guys. So starting off, for the fans, these two are the regular fans, the stock fans that I came with. These were placed right here, no, they were placed right here, and I replaced them with the Asia Horse fans RGB fans. I believe they're the cheapest ones. I'll have a link in the description down below. These are intake, these are outtake. Second of all, what I did was replace the thermal paste of the CPU. All you have to do is unscrew these 4 screws, 1, 2, 3, 4, pop it off, then you'll replace it. You can use whatever you want to clean the wipes. Make sure it has at least some alcohol. In this case, I use wet wipes. You can use regular wipes, alcohol wipes. Maybe you get it from a product. You got it from a product. These are the Noctua wet wipes that I got, along with the Noctua fan that I have here for the Deshroud Mod. For the GPU, I'll be going into that in a little bit. But all you gotta do is just wipe it off, replace it. I replace it with Noctua thermal paste. Any single thermal paste that's out there works. However, there are some maybe that are equipped really. I chose Noctua, so I got Noctua. But there are other thermal pastes you can use. Then what I did was actually also replace the thermal paste for the GPU. I'll be showing pictures, as you can see right now. So what I did was unscrew these screws that are on here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's a small little screw in there, and there's one on the opposite end or on this one. I'm not sure, but make sure you get all of these screws. And what I did was replace the thermal paste. Replace the thermal paste and the thermal pads. What I got were 12 MK 100 by 100 1mm pads. This is what it came with. It's a really good sized for this kind of work. You can get this at Amazon. I'll have a link in the description. However, when I did put the thermal pads, I realized that it wasn't making contact. The bronze plate wasn't making contact with the actual case or PCB. I'm not sure what it is, but it wasn't making contact. So what I had to do, as you can see, if you can really see it, I had to place 2 pads on opposite sides in order for them to come in contact, as you can see. So I think that it actually uses 2mm pads, or if not 1.5, because you do have to keep in mind that the processor of the GPU has to make contact. So if the thermal pads impede that contact, then you're not really getting any benefit out of this. But I use 1mm and then I use another 1mm, so I'm guessing that's 2mm, right? And it should make perfect contact. So that's what I did. In order to get the GPU out, make sure you unplug this cable. Once you unplug the cable, you have to unscrew the GPU stand that it came with. This was the stand that it came with, but as you can see right here, there were 2 screws in there, and then there's a middle screw. The middle screw is still in there. It's just for moving, but you put the other 2 screws in and bam. But you just unscrew that, then you slide it all the way over here, and then you just kind of wiggle it, and it should pop off. Once it pops off, this thing is still going to be on there. So what you need to do is actually unscrew the 2 screws that are on here. As you can see, there's 1 and there's 2. You unscrew those 2, and then on the very back, I'm not sure if you can see, let's see, where is it? It should be around here, but basically it looks kind of like a black stick, and all you gotta do is kind of like push it to the side or down. It's like, I'm not really sure how I did it, but just try and like wiggle it, like push it down or to the side, and you should hear a click. And once it clicks, it basically releases the actual GPU. And to get it back to clip, if you want to put it back, all you gotta do is insert it to where it actually connects it, right? Where it actually connects the GPU. Make sure to plug everything back in, screw everything back in, and once you push it in, it should click. So that's all you have to do. It clicks once back you put it in. So as I said, that was that thermal paste replacement along with the thermal pads. Then I did the Deshroud mod. This is a Noctua fan, as I said. This is stock fan. I need a what's it called, the fan controller for the Noctua fans, because no actual fan gets detected by the OMEN motherboard or BIOS. It just doesn't work like that. The way I had these actually work was because they're connected to a fan hub, and I actually use a controller for it. So as you can see, it has the typical RGB functions: mode, fan, speed, white, turn off the color if you don't like it, and yeah, so that's what I have in order for it to work, and I can increase the speed easily. However, I need a controller for the Noctua fan since I'm not really getting any benefit. What I was thinking was actually replacing this Noctua fan with the stock AIO fan, since it would run less noisy. However, I need the controller and it's on its way right now, so I have yet to install that. However, it should work. But yeah, this is the Deshroud Mod. All you gotta do, these are 120mm fans, and I zip tie them easily to the GPU. You might also want to get rid of the GPU stand. It does kind of wiggle a little bit, not wiggle, but it goes down a little bit, but it does help the overall thermals if you're worried about that. Now moving on to software. If I can get this started. If you go to MSI Afterburner, you download this. I have a link to the download in the description down below, as well as all of the stuff I use. It's kind of a mess right now, but I was working on that last night. So if we open it up, if we open it up, it should pop up with this. This is the usually like the UI that you start off with. You can change it if you want to, but the settings I have right now, I have the core clock to a curb. So why is it a curb? Well, if you actually didn't know, you can undervolt your PC in order to produce less heat at the same performance. Or if not, there is a performance decrease in about 1 to 3 or 1 to 4 frames per second. However, it does a huge boost to overall thermals, like by 10 degrees Celsius or even 12 degrees Celsius. It is a lot. So what you're gonna have to do is click on these are your safe slots. So what you want to do is click on number 1, and you're gonna go to the curve editor. You can look up a YouTube tutorial for this. I have a 3070 and an i7 12700K processor, but for the GPU, since it is a 3070, you can, if you have a 3080, 3090, or you have a different type of OMEN model, you can easily look up a tutorial on how to undervolt your GPU, and it should show you on YouTube. But I'm just go over it really quick. So as you can see, this other curve that's on here was a stock curve, and that means that every single time I boot up a game, it goes down, and then it goes all the way up to the 2150 frequency, and it uses a higher voltage. So undervolting simply means changing the curve at how much power your graphics card is going to produce, but at the same performance. So as you can see, instead of it going up and down, I simply made it go up and then make it stand. You can undervolt it even lower for less heat and less power. However, you might notice that your games might crash, and that is kind of to let you know, hey, this doesn't work. Put it back up or raise it up a little bit. So only one game crashes, and that is Elder Scrolls Online, something with the launcher. I don't know what it is. However, when I play New World, it does. This was a huge increase from using too much power. It was an excess. It has horrible resource management. The game is known for that. So from going from like 220 watts to 240 watts, I went down to 150 watts to 170 watts with this curve. So if you have a 3070, you can easily do this. I have it at 900 and at 1900. So that's what I did. And once you have your curve set, all you have to do is make sure you save it using this. And then these slots are going to blink. Basically, all you have to do is click on which one you want to save it on, and then you're going to hit apply. So that's it. Overclocking, I have my memory clocked to 150. You don't have to. But now, along with this is an actual other thing, which is your GPU fan speed, which you need to do. So you're going to go on settings. Make sure it always starts with Windows, MSI Afterburner. That way you don't have to boot it up every single time you want to get into a game. Or if you want to do that, you can easily do that. Sometimes the software does kind of fluctuate. It doesn't really apply the settings that I applied, so I have to click back on it and make sure to apply the settings. But overall, it works most of the time. So make sure it starts with Windows and starts minimized. You're going to go to fan speed. You're going to have to put a check mark on this setting, enable user-defined software for fan control. And basically, this is your typical fan control instead of the OMEN fan control, which I'm not really a fan of. I don't think you can change your graphics card actually fan speed on OMEN software. But what you want to do is just put it to somewhere where you like the speed. This is your preference, really. And once you do that, you want to make sure you hit apply and then OK. So that's about it. And that's pretty much it. You can also undervolt your CPU. But for me, it requires the OMEN software, which I don't want to use. Because apparently it increases your heat once it boots up. So I don't want to do that. But this has significantly helped. I hope it helps you. If you do have a AMD, no, not AMD. Or is it AMD? I forgot what kind of other processor. I believe you can undervolt it with another software, if I'm correct. But this is just how to get it up and running for your boosting performance and boosting thermals. I hope this helped you. If you have any questions, make sure to put them down in the comment section. I'll be sure to respond to them. And I'll put everything that I used in regards to the PC down in the description. The fans I have right now, the cable ties, whatever. I'll make sure to link it down in the description. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope this helps you, and have a good rest of your day. Thank you.